this is, I got this when I first came to Conyers, and I'll read this to you. I got up early one morning and rushed right into the day. I had so much to accomplish, I didn't have time to pray. Problems just stumbled about me, and heavier came each task. Why doesn't God help me? I wonder. He answered, you didn't ask. I want to see joy and beauty, but the day toiled on, gray and bleak. I wonder why God didn't show me. He said, but you didn't seek. I tried to come into God's presence. I used all my keys at the lock. God gently and lovingly nudged me. My child, you did knock. I woke up early this morning and passed me for entering the day. I had so much to accomplish that I had no time to think, no time to pray.
Beautiful.
Story of my life. Anyway, Lord, what do we do with this? For me, it's better not to plan. Let the Lord plan it, what He wants.
Go ahead. I need to free.
Yeah.
Is going to
as you know, when I came here the first time, 13th of October, 1996, I came to Conyers to see the Blessed Mother, which I learned about the Blessed Mother in Frankfurt, Germany, in a business trip that I was taking out there. And while I was there, on that Sunday, I went to Mass. And after Mass, there was an AA meeting, Alcoholics Anonymous meeting, which I'm a member of. And I wasn't going to go to the meeting, so I just hang around the church for about an hour or two, because it was the 12 o'clock Mass. I had 2 hours to wait for the meeting. So I went in the chapel of the church, after the back of the church, and the priest was there talking to a lady who just came back from the United States into Frankfurt. She was a wife of a soldier. And she'd been here and had the experience of the Blessed Mother Mary, of seeing the Blessed Mother Mary, and told me about Nancy and all these things. And she was telling, there was about 6 or 8 or 10 people around. And she was telling the story about what she experienced in Conyers. And somehow I really got caught in the conversation. The priest was there and some other people, and then one by one they kind of started leaving. They got bored or whatever. They had things to do. They left. Then I was left there, just the priest and myself and this lady. And she had a bag with some books in it. So she's telling the story about Conyers, which she saw the Blessed Mother Mary and the rosary and the whole thing. And I really got touched. And I asked her, would you sell me one of those books? I'd like to buy them. She said, no, I cannot sell them to you, but I'll give them to you with the condition you read them, you pass it on to somebody else. So I agreed to do that. The next day I got on a flight to Greece, Athens, where I was supposed to do some business. And when I got to Athens, I was going to stay at a big hotel, but I realized, I might be here longer than I planned, and I had a friend who owned a little small hotel. They asked me, when I come down, please come stay with us. It was this little hotel, maybe 10, 12 rooms, 15 rooms, right on the water. Across the street was the ocean. So I stayed with them, lovely people. And I went to pay. And they said, no, don't pay me now. Pay me when you leave, because that way we'll keep the money longer. had cash to pay, but she said, no, don't do that. Pay me the day you leave, and then we have to pay taxes, and I want to make sure that we don't use that money. So I said, okay. So in the meantime, I stayed. I was supposed to be there 3 weeks, and I stayed 8 months. So I paid what I could, and then eventually the bill got to be rather large, and my credit card was tapped. I had no credit. I used all the credit. And then I had money in the bank in Moscow, but then I could not access my account to send me money. I had a lady who wanted to come down and help me. She wanted to join me in Greece, but she was of, how can I say it? She was from the government, security people. That they wanted senators to come with me so to keep an eye on me because I had a contract for the sugar for Georgia. And so she was from security in Georgia, and I didn't trust her. I didn't feel comfortable with her. Then finally she got upset with me, and she wanted to know. She'd been to my house once. She'd been there twice to look for Lena. Then I wasn't home, and I told her, whatever you do, don't open the door to this lady. Don't make contact with her. I don't trust her. And Lena realized it was a security situation. So I said, if you can, go to the dacha of my father-in-law, Ivan's grandfather, in the country. It was a very protected place with a fence and guards and so on. So she went there to hide. And that lady was patiently, looking for her, Lena all over the place. What I realized, I thought maybe they wanted to take Lena and Ivan to force me to make this deal work. And what happened was they gave me a contract with warranties from the Bank of Georgia. And the contract they gave me was almost twice the cash of what they have in the whole bank in dollars. So they were trying to slip something in there, and I it just didn't work. So the bank told me, George, the bank told me exactly how much money was in their bank, in their accounts. Anyway, that's besides the point. But the bottom line was that I couldn't stay there. I stayed in Greece for almost 7 months, almost 8 months. And finally, the hotel says to me, George, we got to pay the taxes. I need you to pay me. They knew because I used their phone on their fax machine that there was problems trying to get my money into Greece. They would answer me, but they would never send me the money. They said, promise tomorrow, the next couple of days. And so they got kind of concerned. And I got really concerned. I would get up in the morning, take my Bible, and walk down the beach to a rock, and I sit there and did my prayers. And then I find out the praise where I was praying, it was the praise where the apostles would speak to the Greeks. From the top of this, they had what they call one-room house, a stone house. They cut a room into a stone, and that's a home. And that's what I think it was Luke, one of the apostles, would speak from the top of that house. Somebody told me this. That was kind of a very spiritual place. To speak to the people of Greece. And so anyway, I go there and pray every day, and I was, whenever I was there, I was so peaceful. The only place I got was every morning I go there, and then from there I go to the beach, or I go climb up to the Acropolis. But I'm doing all this, and the last 7 days, the hotel decided to remodel the hotel, so they closed the kitchen. And in the morning they would give me coffee and croissants in the morning with butter and cheese. And that was my meal for the whole day sometimes. Because I was out of money. I had like $2 or $3 left in my pocket. And so I remember walking back from the Acropolis on Saturday afternoon, after being up there all day. And I ran across this cart. This man had a cart with big wheels on it. And the cart had peaches about this big. They were like grapefruits. And I asked the price of the peach, and they were like 79 cents. I had $1 and some cents left, and I needed enough to use the bus to go to the office that next day. So I didn't buy it. I was just drooling. And so I went to Mass St. Anne's, it's a cathedral. I went to Mass, and after Mass, I went to Mass every day there. I would walk, my hotel, I could walk to the church. And so I didn't have to take a bus. And after Mass, there's a lot of people there after Mass hanging around every day. But this time there was many Vietnamese people for some reason, Orientals. It was very beautiful people, very spiritual people and everything else. Anyway, so normally after Mass, they hang around the church. You know, they sit down, they talk to the pews and visit and so on. Well, this Sunday, for some reason, everybody left. And I'm sitting there by myself. And I'm praying. I said, Lord, I'm getting hungry. I don't know what to do. I need your help. And for the first time, I asked him directly, what do I need? I need food, and I need it now. I never done that before like that. Always said, well, feed me someday. No, I need food today. I'm hungry. I'm starving. And so I'm sitting there. I'm sitting on the right side of this. This is a big church. And there's rows, 3 rows, and 2 rows in the center and 1 on each side. And I was on the right side. And as I look to the left, you can see across all the benches. What I see in the second row of benches, there's a bag, a plastic bag, like a grocery bag, with a nut. There's a nut on the top, and nobody around. Seems like nobody owned it. So I prayed and prayed and kept looking at it. Nobody come and got it. And I prayed and prayed. Nobody come and got it. Finally, I got up and took my duffel bag and where I kept my towel, my bathing suit, and I kind of moved forward where I kneeled down, and over the bench, the bag was right in front of me. I said, Lord, if this is food, I'm taking it. I mean, I'm hungry and I have no choice. So this food in that bag I'm going to take it. In other words, I'm going to steal it, whatever. I move over and I look around, not a soul. I mean, this is unusual. That church, always people walking in and out. I look down and I open the bag. It's a clear white plastic bag. And I open it. And there's a little piece of paper inside, like a little note, but it was in Greek. So I just threw it in the bottom of the bag. And I said, Lord, I'm going to peek in there, see what's in there. So I take out, I pull whatever was on top. There was something with tinfoil on top. It was kind of warm still. I opened it up and I see it's a peach about this big. The biggest banana I've ever seen. There was one of those containers, you know the containers that require no refrigerator, made of mylar, that keep things from rotting, any food, anything. One of those full of orange juice. And I said, Lord, thank you. I'm taking this. So I put everything, it fit perfectly in my bag. I just endeavored to fit that bag in there, put it in my, and I just say thank you, and I walked out of the church. Next to this church, on the back of it, the Queen of Greece, I forgot her name, had left, it was $4 million many years ago, to take care of her cats. She had, there's maybe 1,000 cats or more in that park. And she had vets hired, and people took care of those cats, fed them every day, all the health things. And so I went to the park, and I went to the edge of the park, and at the edge of the park, they were digging things from the ground. There's those big pillars from the buildings. Those big pillars, there was benches, many things. There was a whole yard full of stuff, junk, just laying around. Old marble stuff. And I sat at one of the benches. There was kind of a bench-like thing. I sat there, and I said, thank you, Jesus. And I couldn't believe I have food. I opened the Bible, and I can't quote because I'm not a Bible thumper, but I remember the phrase where the Lord said, didn't I feed the birds? And I feed the animals. The birds don't go hungry. They don't work. They don't toil. That phrase, that particular passage, which is very well known. And I knew exactly what the answer was to me. So I opened that and ate that peach. That peach was so big I could barely finish it. But I ate it all. And I ate the banana. Then I dug into the other package. I drank some of the juice, and I kept some of the juice. Well, the other package was some tin foil and saran wrap to preserve it warm and comfortable. And there was beautiful rice, with little pieces of morsels, pieces of meat, all chopped with onions and things like that, cooked. The aroma was breathtaking. But I was so full I couldn't eat it. And I said, I'll keep this for tomorrow or tonight. I'll take it to the hotel. And so I wrap it back up again and put it back in the bag.